Hi, everybody. My name's Elle, and welcome to the Order of Narvosc. This is session 23, Risk. I hope you enjoy.
If I recall correctly, we were almost at the Druid farm when we started the session. And so we arrived. I made it through the last day. We arrived. We sort of very quickly got connected with Golmac and a few other friends that we had made along the way, like Sunshine. And I think we ended up seeing Kara as well. And sort of had a night of relaxation with some of their libations and their leaf that they shared with us. But then towards the time to depart the next day, there were some conversations with Golmac, and he made a very clear choice at that time where he stands and sort of symbolically and literally cut off the Druid farm from Sydonea by destroying that bridge. So then as we were starting to travel back, we came across a door in the middle of thin air, and it opened up, and there was a tavern, a very boisterous tavern inside, with a tavern keeper. I believe she was tavern keeper, or at least hanging out in there, named Theodora. Introduced herself to us and said some very interesting things about the door itself and the tavern and how it moves around the world in different planes and how it came from a different plane into Shadowfen, where we are. And we went in there and we had a drink for a little bit. We have the option to stay, but all of us felt some sort of connection and draw and unfinished business in our own world. But I believe it was Velfi and Dahlia who made their way to the restroom and decided to start messing with Dahlia's collar, since the nature of the tavern was that the collar essentially didn't work there. It was cut off from Ignatius in some way, some sort of magic we didn't fully understand. So that was the opportunity to tamper with it and break the bonds of servitude. And so they took it and jumped on it. But then, it seems pretty immediately, once we decided to leave and stay, Ignatius knew in some way that had happened, and we as a party are now in cahoots with someone who is wanted by a very powerful member of the Order. And we're making our way back to where that person stays, along with everyone else in the Order. And we're going to have to decide what we do when we get there, if we can go inside. How can we get Dahlia inside? Does she even want to go inside? There's a lot to happen here. And then I think within a week's time, we have a ball to go to. How'd I do?
You did wonderfully. So, you all just got a long rest after everything that just happened. What would you like to do this morning as you all are getting ready to head back to Sydonea and try to find a way to get Dahlia in, figure out what's going on? What all are you doing?
We still have a full day's travel and a night. Okay.
Y'all will probably be at Sydonea. So that was your second night. It usually takes 2.5 days. So y'all will probably be there later this evening.
This evening. Oh, shoot.
And it's morning right now, like we just started.
Yep, you just started. You just woke up. What would you like to do?
Okay, I just got that.
Oh,
I was playing earlier.
we
Okay.
didn't do it all together, though. So
it doesn't count.
If we keep pace, we will arrive in Sydonea tonight.
Do we want to arrive in Sydonea tonight, or do we need more time to figure out Dahlia's situation? we know that Dahlia's we're going with the trader and left during the night. Yeah, was that the original?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beltov has a way for me to get in.
Okay, so you want to get in, but not
Well,
how we normally get in.
well.
I don't want to assume. I assume we want to get you in. It's dangerous out here. As dangerous as it may be in there, it's still very dangerous out here.
Yeah, I think it'd be safe to. There's unfinished business in there.
Dahlia, make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
We just started.
Yeah. There goes that dice. Okay. Oh boy. 12.
Alrighty. Carry on.
Uh-oh. That's never good.
Well, but even if we split up and enter the city at different times,
We need to because you can't be associated with me.
even then, I mean, the people that run our organization are intelligent, and they will at least assume that we know something.
Well, as far as
I mean,
they know, she just left in the middle of the night. We don't know where she is. We don't know where she's going, which is all very true.
and potentially I may have a play to get her. It might work. It might backfire. Getting on here away from having to hunt her.
You have an
What-
idea.
Yeah, what are you thinking?
Because I have no doubt our greasy friend is going to be, or is already, or is going to be pissed. I could go in pissed at him because he's put somebody who is a traitor in our circle, and now I have to clean it up.
Oh, like have you go after Dahlia?
Yeah.
Because of Ignatius's mistake.
Like you would
'Cause we know-
volunteer
'cause-
this?
I don't know how that would end up playing out, but it's an option that might. It's an option on the table.
He knows.
I don't know what the.
Whether or not we cooperated is something else, but he at least knows that we left on this mission together. Devil's advocate here, thinking through. If we do show up without her, we're likely to be questioned. We've seen people disappear who know things they maybe shouldn't. If we were with her and show up without her, and then you offer to go hunt her down, would the question then be, why don't you have her already? You were with her.
I mean, if she left while we were sleeping, I don't have a way of suddenly waking up from sleep to know when somebody's left.
And we have a delivery to make. We can't, kind of deviate and add extra days onto our trip with this delivery.
Dolly, have you ever tried to remove the collar on your own?
Yeah.
I'm assuming you've always failed.
Yes.
Is it safe to assume then he knows you couldn't do it alone?
Yeah. Well, maybe. I don't know. It would just hurt whenever I would mess with it.
I think regardless, we're going to have to be prepared to talk our way out of something. I don't know this Ignatius well enough to know how
Yeah, neither do I.
persuadable he may be. I don't know if that's a word or not.
Gullible.
Do I have any insight on Ignatius, like how best to does he scare easily? He's probably not very gullible.
He is not very gullible. He does not scare easy. It's almost like, the front he puts up in front of the church and things like that is very kind, nurturing, caring. But otherwise, he is a stone wall.
Yeah.
Can any of you see invisibility?
I don't think I can.
That would be under like features and traits.
Mm-hmm. I don't think you all can, but you might have chosen a feat that I did not check.
No, and I don't even have that spell.
It's also a spell. Yeah, I don't have that spell. I don't even know it.
Okay.
I don't even think that's available to me
No,
yet.
I don't believe so.
Actions.
Can we level up real quick? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, can we just level up quickly? Nope.
Cool, carry on.
Oh boy.
Do we think we're safe until we get back to the city?
Well, I guess it depends on how quickly they would send Andir out. Last I heard, he was pretty out of it. So I guess it kind of depends on how quickly that turnaround time is.
Do you have a way of knowing where he is?
I don't.
Without asking him?
No.
He made several days travel overnight once, didn't he?
It took you all a day to get there. You don't know how far away he was, but he definitely travels faster than you.
But the reasons vary, of course. That was for, that was not just a normal work mission. He was seeing to your well-being.
Yeah, and I don't know how how hard he'll take it, will he completely just put the fact that he knows Dahlia and he knows that we all are a circle out of his mind and just focus on it, or if he will have conflicting feelings. I would hope that he would think twice. Seems like the kind of person to think twice.
Does he know about the collar?
That I don't know.
Wasn't permitted to talk about it.
So maybe not. Maybe that would change his mind. It's one thing to volunteer for the order, which is more or less what 3 of us have done.
I don't have proof of it though.
That's
Just
true.
scars now. I'm gonna cast Death Ward on myself.
How long does that last?
8 hours.
Okay.
I guess we make our way and hope that things work out. I mean, we're in a whole bunch of it, regardless of.
When would you break off, Dahlia?
Maybe as soon as I see the sphere, contact Beltov and Serafina. Serafina? No. Yes, Serafina.
So I think, again, it depends on how quickly they send him out. Sooner the better. Put as much distance between us, because he would know that we were all on a mission together, and he would know the path we were taking.
Okay, I can break off now.
I want to make sure you're okay to get back, though, on your own.
Yeah.
Well, it's daytime, so.
Belvy's gonna reach over to the extra crystal, and she's gonna give it to Dahlia, just in case. You have 2 crystals to keep you safe.
I just had an idea. Delphi, do you have any personal effects of Ontir on you? Anything?
No, I don't think he's given me anything. The only thing he's given me is but that I guess would be fine.
What was that? That part cut out. What did he give you?
Ascending stone.
He did give you something else. I can't tell if you're playing coy, like you don't know, or...
No,
Okay.
You don't have to tell Friedrich if you don't want to.
He gave you
No,
his
I
house
don't.
key.
Oh yeah, that's right. I do.
I have a very long shot of an idea. I don't expect it to work, but we're short on options. I'm going to pull out the ring that summons my astral dog. Does he just like pop out of the nether, or what is he?
Yeah, pretty much he just pops wherever you tell him to. And he just sits there and he looks like he's pouting. Because he has been left in the unknown for about 2 weeks now.
Maybe he doesn't know how much time has passed. I sort of coyly look over to him and hold my hand out in like a very apologetic and kind nature.
He just looks up at you with these big puppy dog eyes, and his little wings that are on the back are kind of like drooping as he slowly makes his way to where you are.
I'm just going to give him a big tussle right on the head between the ears. I need your help.
Everything perks up. Like as soon as you start scratching his head, like the big smile pops onto his face. His little wings start to like flutter a little bit, and you just hear a poof.
Okay, I read this in a book once. Velfie, can I please hold that key?
So I'm gonna very
Right back.
slowly take it out and carefully put it in your hand.
I'm gonna hold the key out to Fly. and let him smell it and say, do you smell any scent like this around us?
And he starts like like a little like bloodhound sniffing around. Oh, that is not a D20, that is a D12. He sniffs and he sniffs and he sniffs. And he comes back and he just sits down. Poof.
I'm going to hand the key back to Velfi. Turn back to Fly and say, if you would stay with us a bit, we're going to walk down the way. And if you happen to smell anything like that, please indicate in some way. See, I told you all it was a long shot. I don't know if a key holds a scent or anything. On here smells so peculiar every time I happen to be near him, so I don't really know this will work at all. But maybe if we get closer, something will. Maybe we'll get lucky.
His tail is just wagging.
Do we know with on here the scent is just like a natural like pheromone type of thing, or is it just he can like have it come and go?
Or do we think it's just like a cologne?
Oh, the way Ontier smells?
Yeah.
You get the idea that like that smell never goes away. Unless he specifically masks it.
And it's more potent when he's fox.
Yeah, because he kind of relaxes. And he doesn't have to put that guard up. And constantly have like prestidigitation to make him smell normal.
Okay.
So he has to actively do something to make it go, like, make it... Okay.
So maybe we'll at least know if he gets close to us, and you have to have a conversation we may not quite be ready for. I don't really know. Does Fly eat, or is it like they don't eat, they don't do anything?
He's like this ghostly looking puppy with wings.
What kind of puppy is he?
What kind of puppy do you want him to be?
A little terrier.
And he's just a scraggly little terrier with wings. He has a little brown spot. And while you are thinking of something, I'm gonna roll a d4. Where's the d4?
Why is that?
See who's going to roll what happens for today. It is actually you. You were number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep.
A D20, you say?
A d20.
It's a natural 20.
Ayo.
Hey, yo, we all find $1 million gold.
With a d20, or a natural 20, roll me a d6.
Four.
All right. With a 4. Okay, and a natural 20. Okay.
I guess we're making our way. Are we making our way back to?
Yeah. I for one, Dolly, you make your own choices, but I'm completely comfortable with you staying with the group until we're close enough to make sure you're not in any unnecessary harm.
I think Filthy's right, though. I don't know if that'd be wise. Because if one deer just pop up, or any of the other masks for that matter, that will just totally blow the lie away. So,
So maybe it would be best.
I'm gonna take a minute and pull out the bag of, because we have the blessed sunflower seeds from Sunshine, right?
I know some of you ate them. Did Ruin eat his?
I haven't touched mine.
I was also given some as well. I think Sunshine gave us all some. Yeah.
I'm going to pop the sunflower seeds because I have an eerie feeling that that'll come in handy at some point. As
Go
we're
ahead and
walking
do-
along.
I think Velpy might see that and do the same. Oh, wait. So that is 24 hours of guidance?
Mm-hmm. It's a 24-hour permanent guidance.
So is that just a one use, or is it like
It is a one use.
So we can use it on one thing, but we have 24 hours.
Oh, sorry. No, I thought you meant the bag. So the bag of sunflower seeds is gone, but you have a permanent guidance. So for the 24 hours, you will get a D4 to any ability checks.
Okay.
So Sunshine gave me 4 bags. Okay. Sorry.
Oh yeah, she did give you extras during our
Yeah.
our slumber party, or after the slumber party, or before the slumber party. There was
At Castle Together. That was so great.
And you all will see these draft horses pawing at the ground. They are ready to go.
let's make our way, I guess.
Might as well. I'll saddle up on Beatrice.
Velpy's gonna grab her crystals. I have mine.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll get off Beatrice.
Heftine.
So are we together for now?
No, I'll hang back.
I don't know if
So
it'll help much, but Friedrich reaches into his pack, pulls out a small jar, hands it to Dahlia, and says, if you ever find yourself not feeling well, you can apply a small bit of this to wherever you would like, and it has a restorative property to it, just in case.
Thank you.
And it's restorative ointment.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
Here, take my ointment.
Thank you.
All right, so you all are able to saddle up and get going, and the 3 of you are going in front. Dahlia is hanging a little ways back as you all make your way towards Sydonea. Is there anything you'd like to talk about while you're on the way, any sendings or any messages you want to send, anything you want to do as you all are traveling, 3 of you together, 1 hanging behind.
The only person I can send a message to is Kara, and right now I don't think that's
Can I use my sending stone with axe to send a message?
Go for it.
Hello, boys. Hope you're well. I'm returning to Sydonea this evening. Can we meet tomorrow? I may have news to share. Noon at Enchanty.
And as you're waiting on a response, all of your pins buzz. All reapers return to Sydonea at once. All reapers return to Sydonea at once.
I think they want us to return to Sydonea
at once.
But that sounds like it was to everyone.
I don't think this is good.
You're probably right.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's something else. It's a big world out here.
Maybe they're throwing a surprise party.
Maybe it's ball preparations.
You all have very positive outlooks, and I really appreciate it.
And after a few moments, you get a message from Axe. You actually found something. We will be here. Sydonea has gone on lockdown. See you then.
Great.
At least they're still staying positive. Was it just Axe? No Z?
It was just Axe.
Wasn't Z leaving when we were leaving? So he's probably on the return, likely on the return trip himself.
True. Hopefully.
Well, I guess, should we tell Dahlia? I think it might be time for her to split.
Did Dahlia heard that, right? Even though I don't think she's wearing her pin? Did it like sort of come out
Pin has
loud?
been finished.
Dahlia no longer has a pen.
But could you hear it from ours?
Have you all split off yet?
She's a ways back. She would have made sure that they stayed very far away.
So
And
then,
she would have gone off the main path.
so then Dahlia does not know.
Do I still see her if I look around?
It'll be a very high DC because she is staying very far back and off the main road.
How
What
many
did-
feet far back?
Oh,
That is up to her.
probably in the hundreds.
Like more than 120?
Probably there's about, we'll say.
Roll a D100. Higher than 50, you're right on the cusp.
Okay.
But did she hear any other pins around her with that announcement?
So with the pins, they're very quiet and to their
Okay.
owner.
Got it.
Who's rolling the D100?
Bex, will you roll the D100 since we were talking about how far Dahlia is behind? Higher than 50, you're at the 120 mark.
30 and a 0. Which one's that one again? Is that just 30?
That would have been 30 and a 0 is 40.
40.
So she's out of range.
I guess Velfie wouldn't know that, so she'll try to send a message anyway. And just hope that it reaches. Well, I tried to send her a message. I don't know if I got it or not. I don't know if maybe one of us wants to ride back to let her know.
Can I look and see if I see her?
High perception, probably a DC of, let's say, 18.
I'll roll it.
Say,
Just tell me what to roll.
Roll perception.
I'll roll it as well because I
Ooh,
definitely want to warn.
4.
14.
22.
Yeah, you get little glimpses in the forest area off the track.
And I don't. I guess I will like pull back just enough. And just say loud enough that she could hear it, but not like speaking directly to her. Something's up. Be careful. And then catch back up to the
And Dahlia, in your head, you're going to hear Seraphina. Sydonea on lockdown. Do not go near the gates. Look towards the back of city, close to forest line. Look for 3 jagged rocks.
They'll just reply with a yes, ma'am.
And as you all are continuing your travel throughout today, you see that familiar film dissolve. Colors start to get bright. Everything looks pretty. It smells sweet. But it has gone from like early morning to very late in the evening. The stars are out. The moon is really high in the sky. And this is actually one of the very first times you have ever seen stars without the light pollution of a crystal.
That's beautiful.
something.
But it became nighttime?
Here it is nighttime.
I'm going to get my crystal out just in case. I don't know if I'll need this, but I'm not used to being out at night without it.
I guess that's smart. And Velfie will do the same.
I'm not going to activate it, but you know, so it's handy.
Keep it close, yeah? What do we see around us?
Roll me a perception check.
Okay.
And Dahlia can as well, because Dahlia is also experiencing this, just far further away.
Okay. And it's
7.
nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
18 for ruin.
19.
What was Velfie's?
7.
12.
12. All right. So with those numbers, it's just very pretty out here. And this is the first time at night you haven't immediately felt like something is coming to get you. And that there's no like boogeyman in the dark. And it's very peaceful, very pretty, very green, very bright. You see some firelights or fireflies, lightning bugs going off in the corners, and they're just like blooping up every once in a while. But with the highest number being 19, Dahlia is going to see an altar in the center of it's like a little clear section in this entire area. Because you all are technically in the woods, very high vegetation, all these different kinds of flowers and trees and blooms and colors you all haven't really seen before. But Dahlia will find this altar first. It looks ancient, and it depicts stars and planets that looks like it can match up with what you see above you. And there is a little plaque on the bottom of the altar. Ask our goddess a question, and she will respond.
I can't read it, so she'll just admire it. And she'll probably like touch the plaque and then just try to sound out some of the words.
And as you are sounding out the words, you can get goddess, you can get ask, you can get, you get the idea it's asking you or telling you to ask something. Can't get the whole picture of it as you were sounding out the words.
Boy. I'll ask Scholar. It's like, what do you know what goddess this is?
I have no clue.
Cool.
Do you want to ask it a question? I think it should be an important question. Like something, I don't quite know how this works, but I think ask it something that you would like to know.
I need a minute to think about what I want to ask it. I don't know.
And while you're thinking about what to ask, what are the other three of you doing?
I think since Velvy can't see anything cool, she'll just be admiring the stars and the area around her.
And the stars just twinkle. And you get the sense something is like gently caressing like the sides of your arms, and like you get a little like breeze in your hair, and it's almost like a loving little curious caress.
I'm going to cast Fly. And immediately Friedrich just sort of like shoots off the ground into the sky.
Give me a perception check.
Yeah, I want to look around. $19.
With a 19, you will see Dahlia around this, like it's an empty space with an altar in the center. And from this high up, you can see it's a constellation map.
I can see the altar is a constellation map. Do I know what a constellation is?
You've read a lot of things. Some things talk about constellations and how they pull magic from the constellations and where the stars are in the sky. So I'd say, yeah, you know what a constellation is.
How far away does Dahlia appear to be?
About 200 feet or so away from you. You're high in the air, so further.
But like
300 feet.
Flies, 200 feet or so.
300 feet.
I'm gonna sort of float down a bit. How long does fly last? 10 minutes. Okay. Float down a bit and say, "Hey, I see Dahlia over here, a couple hundred feet away, and some weird-looking construction of something. Would you like to go check it out?" And then without hearing an answer, I just go back up in the air and I stick my arms forward and I fly backwards towards it.
And you are able to fly to Dahlia.
No.
I love the professor so much.
Well, Belfie's gonna walk over and grab
Yeah.
Beatrice's reins and just say, "All
I
right,
guess
come on."
All right.
Beatrice is just looking towards the sky.
Baby. So precious.
That's not the weirdest thing I've seen him do. So,
And you hear a little poof.
Come on,
Come
Fly.
on.
I thought Fly was with me. He could fly.
yeah.
Oh, true.
You can't really fly that
Fly.
quickly.
Fly, go get him.
Fly does not listen to anybody other than Professor Friedrich, so Fly is going to very slowly fly up and sit on the back of Beatrice's butt. Poof.
This works. We'll just lead Beatrice over there, I guess.
All right, and it takes you a little while. Once Friedrich lands,
So he holds his arms out and just slowly descends and lands behind Dahlia and says, "Your prayers are answered." Were you praying? I don't know. I just thought it
No.
would be a cool entrance.
Yep. Yeah. It was very cool.
We didn't make it far before this happened.
No.
Any idea what that is?
Well, an altar to a goddess that you can ask questions to, according to the scholar. And I'm trying to think of which question to ask, and there are too many.
From the sky, it appears to be a constellation map. Are you familiar with constellations?
I don't even know how to read, so no.
Like star patterns. The ways that stars in the sky look like figures and what significance they hold.
So these are stars. These represent stars.
I think. I'm not sure.
Are you going to ask it a question?
No, you were here and
No,
you
I
looked
mean, are you
very
going to?
pensive.
Well, I'm trying to decide between like three very big ones. So,
I'll let you. I'll sort of like slowly sort of meander
I haven't
away to
decided
give some
between the three of
privacy.
them. You don't have to. Okay.
Not like in a mean way, but in like a respectful sort of.
But I haven't
don't know what you
decided
wanna
yet. So
ask.
if you wanted to go first so I can see if it actually works, so I don't have to be like stressing about this if it doesn't work.
But what if we only get one? What if I ask it and then it like
Then we're done. And then I just
disappears?
keep moving on with life then.
Velthy and Ruin are on their way over. Maybe they have more pressing questions.
That's true.
Because I also can't think of one, and I'd hate to squander it.
Yeah. And we can wait.
And slowly after, both Ruin and Velfi are able to see the altar as well. And it's made of this beautiful, like, navy blue stone.
Does it seem like it's a single question type of thing, or is it a single question per person type of thing?
Roll me intelligence.
Oh, good, because I am the smart.
Can I tell he's trying to come up with an answer for something? He's studying something.
Who, Ruin?
Yeah.
I don't know if it would be super obvious that it was like.
Or are you just staring?
I mean, I'd be looking at the altar.
Okay. Then I probably wouldn't know to guide you.
6.
You have no idea. You are not into all of the magical stuff like this. Your powers came from asking somebody something.
Yeah.
But not this kind of asking somebody something.
I know in my head what question Ruin's going to ask, but he doesn't want to ask it out loud. So I'm not going to say anything.
Belfi's walk up to the altar and she's going to read the plaque. She'll read it out loud. So I guess Stalia would hear it and have a better understanding of what it says. So I guess we ask it a question and maybe we'll receive some sort of answer.
Yeah.
Anyone have a question?
Too many.
I don't remember, did it say only one question?
Ask us or ask her a question.
A question, okay.
Anything?
Problem is, there's too many questions to ask.
Yeah, that's the real trick, huh?
Yeah.
Is anyone torn on a decision or anything?
I don't even know how to phrase some of the questions that I have in my mind because I wanted to like ask about Andir. I don't know like if we can somehow ask like, will this be okay someday? Will he join us? Will this?
That's one of my questions too.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
there you go. You've made a decision. We've
There's
made a
that
decision.
one.
There's 2 people with the same question.
That sounds like a great question to ask.
and then I
some
want to
way.
know who the third demon child is.
Okay, that's a good point too.
Okay. So I guess so we don't know if it's one question per group or one question per person. I would personally assume one question per person,
That's what I'm hoping for.
but
Another question for me is, should I even go back to Sydonea?
would that be a question you'd want to ask overall?
I don't know. I'm just trying to think of how to keep everybody safe.
Does it seem like there's a spot that we're supposed to like walk up and ask a question, or is it just like
In the center, it's almost like there's a constellation map and the planets, but in the center, it's like the star that everything revolves around, but there's no star there. So you get the sense you're supposed to go to where the star is to ask the question.
Where's the star?
Mhm.
Ruin will step into the star, I guess,
All right. And what do you ask?
since nobody else is. If I leave, will she be safe? Referring to Selin, but not saying her name.
You get, as you're able to cast this spell ritually, divination, you see flashes. And you see two possibilities. Cracks in the earth. Selin hanging on to the edge, trying to find a way up and can't, and falls. And then very quickly changes to her being somewhere else. Not looking like Sydonea. And then everything goes blank. And you all notice that the altar and its constellations dim. As all the magic has been used.
Sorry, guys.
No, there's no way we would have known. But I hope you got an answer.
And more questions. I don't know if it answered anything, but it definitely gave clarity, I guess.
Well, that's good. Clarity is good. We could all use a little bit of clarity.
Yeah.
And as you all are standing there, this beautiful sight, the stars, the moon, this beautiful divination rock altar to the goddess Lunaris disappears and fades and dissolves out as the sun comes back into view. And you all are standing together back on wherever it was that you left.
Does it look like a lot of time has passed?
It looks like no time has passed at all. But you are standing together. What are you doing?
Well,
I'm walking away
goodbye
from
again.
For real this time. Be careful.
Mm-hmm. Always.
Yes. Good luck, Dahlia.
Where?
Oh, well, now we can actually say it since we're here. City on lockdown, be careful.
Yeah, we were notified the city's been locked down.
They're calling all the Reapers back.
So hopefully that means less Reapers on our asses. So
How can we know you made it back okay?
I can send messages to y'all.
Okay.
All right. Well, I guess we should get a move on.
Mm-hmm. Sally forth.
And as you all continue the rest of your day's travel, three of you together, Dahlia off on her own as she is trying to go the back way into Sydonea. The day passes, uneventful for now, as you all get close enough to see the sphere, and you all see a lot of Reapers coming back, and they look confused. So Friedrich, Ruin, and Velfi, a lot of Reapers are coming back, and they look very confused.
Any of them we recognize?
You recognize Z is coming back. You see Violet and Ro on one side. On the other side, you see Selen. Like, they're all slowly trickling in to the barrier. And they all look
Do we
confused.
see Antier at all?
You do not.
Any other masks?
You're not close enough to the city to be able to determine that quite yet. But not out here.
Well, I guess before we go in, the story, just to get it straight, is Dahlia left in the middle of the night while we were all asleep. And we don't know where she is, don't know where she's going. She's just,
no trace.
yeah, she didn't leave anything behind.
Do any of us actually have anything of hers?
I don't know. Everything she gave me, I gave back.
Okay. Sounds like the story. We'll stick to it. And less is more in these kind of situations. Again, I read a lot. I've never done any sort of espionage myself. But the average person who is just going about their life is not trying to convince you of that. So we just go about our day and don't try to make it very obvious that we know something.
Yes.
And then hopefully we hear from Dahlia soon.
And are you all heading to the gates?
Yep. I mean, that's where we've got a delivery that we have to make, so we've got to...
Make our way there.
Do we go into the normal gate with a delivery, or is it a different route?
You take the... So you all would know, you take... Well, except for Velfi, since this is her first one. You take the delivery to the main gate, and a couple of guards grab the horse's reins and lead them inside. Roll me perception.
I'm going to dismiss Fly as well.
I'm positioning myself quite a ways away, but where I can see the gate, where I can see them.
Roll me perception at disadvantage.
Okay.
21.
16.
21.
22.
22. All right. So with
disadvantage, nice.
Yeah, I got a 16 and an 18.
So with being right next to it with a 16 and a 21, as the carriage or the wagon is going in, the draft horses are carrying it in, you see three little mice jump off of the wagon and sneak through the barrier.
Do they look like your average everyday mice, or...
They look like average everyday mice.
Well, you know, things get into carts.
As they go through the little barrier, you just see the little tails behind them as they scamper away. And Dahlia would not see that because they are so small. But you all see a mask on the top of the gate. Blonde hair, violet eyes showing very brightly through that mask as her eyes are directly on Ruin.
Do I assume that I can I see her from where I'm
With the roll you had, yes.
just like look up and acknowledge, do the little like coworker head nod thing and then walk forward and then continue on our.
She does not give you one back, but as you walk through the gate, her face is following you. And you all are able to make it through the sphere. And you get that familiar little buzz as it checks your vitals and makes sure that nothing's amiss. You do not set off an alarm as you all are able to walk in. Dahlia, you see them walk in along with a lot of other Reapers as well. What are you doing?
Making sure that they weren't arrested or anything. Or
They were-
killed on sight.
They were not arrested. They were not killed on sight, but you notice that Chameleon is focused on something.
Sniper shot. Oh my gosh. She'll just start like stealthing her way to behind to find the 3 jagged rocks.
All right, roll me a stealth check.
Twelve.
In 1 second. Okay. All right, so you were able to stealth your way to where you were able to find... Actually, roll me a perception check.
Yes, advantage. What's in that? 20. How sad. 13.
All right, with 13, there's a lot of rocks, and you're not 100% certain what rock you're supposed to find. But they told you 3 jagged rocks, and you're kind of like, that's a rock, that's a rock, that's a rock. But
All rocks jagged.
like, you see some smooth ones, and you're like, nah, no, that one's not it.
Okay.
No, that's not it. But as you are making your way, you do see a familiar drow sitting on a rock, cleaning his bow. We need to work on you actually being a little bit more stealthy.
Trying not to cry.
And as he lifts his head up and sees Dahlia and her, new hair without the collar, the scars, he turns a little darker blue as he is blushing. And just very softly, roll me perception to see if you hear it.
13.
You hear just very gently, whoa. As he is turned a little darker than normal, and he kind of just and very quickly like snaps his bow back to where it looks like just a little stick that he puts into one of his bracers. I love the hair. You look very beautiful.
Thank you.
You're you're welcome. And he kind of like loses his train of thought for just a second, and we need to get you inside of the gates. They have locked it down completely.
Make sure the party's safe.
I have no eyes on them at the moment. But I'm sure they're fine. I don't think anybody could find out that they're going to have questions. But I don't think that they would be rash at the moment. And you're going to see him start to move some of the brush and branches and moss away from this area between the three jagged rocks, and you start to see the formation of a trap door. And he puts his hand on it very gently and says, Astralis. And you hear a click, a bunch of clicks. And he lifts the door open. And you see a ladder, and it is very dark. Not scared of the dark, right?
I love the dark.
And he laughs. And he starts going down the ladder. And he kind of looks around real fast to make sure that no one is around. Does not see anything. As he gently motions for you to go down the ladder.
I'll do ascending to Velfi, just saying, I found Beltov. I'm with Beltov now. Are you okay?
We're good. Made it through the barrier just fine. Not sure where we're headed next. Glad to hear you're safe.
And then she'll climb down the ladder.
Alrighty. And while you're climbing down the ladder, what are Friedrich, Velfi, and Ruin doing?
Does it look any different inside the gates? Are there a lot of people gathering?
There are a lot of Reapers coming in, and you notice some of the townsfolk are kind of keeping their eye towards the gate. They're also a little curious. And there's a lot of confusion in the air right now. And some worry. Why are the Reapers being brought back here when the threat is supposed to be outside?
Well, I guess we would make our way to the stables, at least.
Make our way to wherever we're supposed to deliver our... But did they already take the cart when we got in the...
Cart's been taken.
Okay. Okay.
Do I see, like, I'm just going to pick a concerned looking citizen out of the crowd. Can I go up to them?
Go ahead, yeah.
Make sure my pin is very noticeable on my collar, what have you. And just say, excuse me, have you heard any more about the lockdown?
They just said it was an increased threat, so we were to stay here, but it's not like any of, us leave anyway. Maybe the only thing I can think of is something bigger is out there and they're bringing you all back. But that's kind of terrifying because if there's something big out there and they're bringing everybody back here, what do we need to be defended for if we have the sphere? Nothing can get in, right?
So they just said it was due to increased threats outside the walls?
That's kind of what I've heard, but I don't know if it's true or not. They haven't really told us much. They just said that we'd be on lockdown until further notice.
Thank you. Stay safe. Maybe best to not be near the walls, just in case, but we'll see what else they tell us.
Do you think you can go over the wall?
No, but, the more distance between yourself and the wall, the better, right? I'm not sticking around here.
Well, if you're not sticking around here, who's going to keep us safe?
As in, I'm going to go into the center city and find out what more I can. There are guards along the walls here.
She's just going to very nervously nod. And you kind of like get the sense you've made her even more nervous than what she was before you talked to her.
I'm just going to scurry off. I wasn't trying to sow unrest. I'm just trying to figure out what the hell's going on.
As you scurry off, you hear her whisper to somebody next to her. Has the quality of the Reapers gone down? Should we be concerned?
I hear that.
You do hear that as you scurry off.
Are they in a straight line?
It's just kind of like a little crowd that's convened. That are just kind of talking to each other.
Level 4. I'm kidding. How dare you? No, it's gonna Palpatine her ass. No, I'll just scurry off and sort of scoff at it. And I'll try to catch up with Ruin and Velfie.
Do we make our way back to... I don't know if we need to report in that we're back and that we've done what we need to do.
Well, if we want our pay and we want to let them know that they got it.
Probably for the best. We may get a few questions. I just spoke to some random ill-informed citizen, and it sounds like the city hasn't told people much, just that it's on lockdown. There's rumors.
I wasn't expecting that.
Gee, that's surprising that they wouldn't share anything with the unnecessary populace.
I'm picking up a hint of sarcasm, but I'm not quite sure.
Well, let's go get paid.
All right.
All right, so you all are able to make your way to the city center where the base is. And as you all walk into this base, this building that you all have become so accustomed to, it's a little crowded. As people are coming in to report their findings or collect their money or anything like that, or some are just like, I was called back. Do I get paid for this? Like, you hear a lot of confusion in here as you all are able to find Dalmet's station empty, with him just gently riding as he normally does.
Okay.
As we're walking through the hustle and bustle of the crowd, I'm going to quietly cast Mage Armor and False Life on myself.
And you are able to do so?
I'm also going to cast a thing on myself. I'm going to cast Armor of Agathis on myself. So I get like some frost going up around my armor, but not like...
Sophie doesn't have anything cool, so she'll just walk in.
Velfie is the cool.
You are already too cool. And you also have a rapier that wants to drink blood, so...
Yeah. Well, I guess we make our way to Dalmet.
Hey, looks pleasant as always.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay. Here I go. On my way.
You got this.
Okay. So Velfie will walk up to Dalmet.
He slowly raises his head as you approach his station.
Hello, Dalmet. We all meet again.
You get like the slightest little like chuckle, and then he goes back to being standstill.
Just, we have returned, and the food and everything from the grove has been delivered. So,
wonderful job. As he slowly picks out Some little gold bags, and there are 3. Where are the other 2?
I'm assuming we're right beside her.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You didn't say
we
you
were
walked
standing
up.
right with her.
Oh,
No,
okay. I
we
was.
followed
Yeah,
up.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it
No,
was 3 of
you
us. And I'm like,
followed.
wait, we have another circle member?
As he puts the 3 bags of 100 gold pieces each in front of you. And you notice there is not a 4th one.
Great timing on this delivery, given the current state of things.
He just nods.
Yes.
Hopefully it lasts as long as the city needs it to. The food, that is.
You get like a tilt of his head as he looks towards you, but you don't get anything else.
Velphi is going to quickly cast a message to the professor. Should we inform them of Dahlia's leaving to make it seem like we were surprised? Just nod if yes.
Well, I can respond in my head to message, right? Is it? Yeah. I'll respond without just stone-faced. Yes, I think that is smart.
Velphi will turn to Domnet, and you may have noticed that we are 1 member short. Not quite sure what happened there. We woke up and she was gone.
Roll me deception.
Ooh, and I have guidance. Ha ha ha. Dang it. I'm going to use an inspiration point.
So you also have lucky.
Dang it. 10.
He nods. Well, just glad to hear.
Oh, wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I totally forgot to add 16.
16. All right. He nods. Well, I'm glad to hear she didn't take the 3 of you out when she left.
Yes, I was very glad to wake up, but very surprised to see that she was gone.
That is very strange. I don't know where she would go.
I don't know. She didn't leave anything behind, so perhaps. Clearly doesn't want me to say anything.
He's like, you're saying too much.
Yeah, I am not quite sure where she thinks she's going, but
They'll find her soon enough.
I know we've got some great reapers, so yeah.
But they probably won't anytime soon, right? With everyone staying in the city.
I don't ask questions.
Well, it is quite sad, but you know. Well, is there any update on this lockdown that we're in?
We are in a lockdown until further notice.
Okay. No, why or?
Due to increasing threats.
is pretty scary out there, so makes sense. Okay. Well, don't know if y'all have any other business here with Dalmet, but I am ready to go spend some money.
When should we return for our next mission?
We will call you.
I know the ball is coming up. Do you anticipate this lockdown having any effect on the ball? It would be such a shame.
As far as I know, the ball is still set for 3 days.
Can we count on seeing you there?
No.
Pity.
That is unfortunate. I feel like you would have had a ball.
You get this slight little chuckle, and then he...
There's still time. You may change your mind.
No.
Well, it's not for everyone, I guess. We'll await your call, I suppose. Ruin, any questions or anything?
Right, well, Dalmet, it was a pleasure, and I guess we'll see you when you call.
He just nods and starts writing in his book again. He goes to reach for something that Dahlia normally knocks over, but she's not there, so you see his hand move towards it, and then he doesn't, and then he goes right back to writing whatever he was writing.
Can I see what he's writing?
Roll me a perception check.
15.
You can't quite make it out.
As we're leaving, can I like look at because there's the big crystal underneath, can I like just look at that and see if it looks like there's any difference with it, or if it just appears like it normally?
Appears like it normally does.
Nothing. Okay. And we're like evening.
It's beginning to be evening, yes, so the sun is getting lower in the sky.
Yes. To the bar?
Let's head out.
Yeah, maybe one one drink. What good is gold if we don't spend it?
Yep. Right, well, goodbye, Dalmet, and hello, bar.
Dalmet, care to join us for a drink?
He's still writing and is ignoring you.
Maybe next time.
And Belfie will walk out of headquarters.
And you all are able to walk out, and while this is happening, Dahlia, what's going on?
Just following Beltov down the ladder.
And once y'all hit the bottom, he holds a hand out just in case you need it when you get off the ladder to make sure you don't fall.
Take it.
And it is very dark down here. There's no lights. There is just a pitch black wall pretty much in front of you. And you hear Beltov. You can see it like light shades, like of grays, and like that's about it with your dark vision. And he reaches down into a barrel that is filled with something, and he pulls out this torch. And with his flint box, lights it and sets it on fire so you all can see. And this tunnel doesn't look super old. It's, I don't want to say haphazardly made, but looks like it was very quickly done. and can't be, too much older than you, possibly. As he starts walking, and he'll hold his hand out in case you want to take it, down this long, long, long path.
She'll probably hesitantly take it.
And he just very gently gives a squeeze as he leads the way. Is there anything you would like to do while you two are walking?
I'd be quiet for a while. Doesn't know where to start with all this new lore. She doesn't know if he knows it all either, but just kind of enjoying the quiet right now.
And every once in a while you'll feel a little squeeze, like a reassuring squeeze. But he never pushes, and he stays quiet. As you both are walking, and there's finally this little bit of light that comes through what looks like a very tiny wooden door. And you can see now that, like, the rocks are very similar to the underground here. And there might be a few little vines that kind of trickled in this way, but not a whole lot as you both get to the door. And he snuffs the torch out into another bucket of something and just very quietly peeks out the door and slowly starts to open it. Sticks his head out, looks both ways, and then gently tugs on the hand he's holding, your hand. The notion that it is safe to leave.
I'll follow.
When you exit, you notice you're on layer 13.
Jeez. Wow. And there it is. Has she been to layer 13?
Did you find Scholar on layer 13 or layer 11?
I think I found him on layer 11.
Layer 11. Okay. So possibly, would Dahlia have ever gone deeper than that?
Maybe to explore. Maybe if she was allowed to.
So layer 13 doesn't have a whole lot. There's a few homes down here, very close together, very small, not very well built, not very well insulated, very crowded with people who cannot afford the higher layers or topside. So they're known as gutter rats down here. And it's very quiet. It's a little darker than what you're used to on the higher layers. But you see a little human girl sitting on a crate. Her legs are going back and forth, and she's sitting in a position that looks a little awkward. Ah, so you made it. The voice is not the same, but you get the same accent as Seraphina.
Yeah. Yes, I did.
Welcome to layer 13. Sure, you've been down here before.
Sound.
Very nice perspective down here.
Yeah. You sound, but you look different. But
I am magical. And she holds her fingers up and does like this little, and she's just like this tiny little girl, looks like she might be 13, 14, with like dark brown hair, dark brown eyes. She has made herself look very plain. Nothing on her stands out.
nice trick. I like it.
Thank you. I worked really hard on it. Actually, I was born with it. I'm smart, aren't I, Belle? And he just, you can kind of tell he's just kind of over her. Yes. Very, very. This is great. Well, I think we have some things we need to catch you up on if you are willing and want to help
Yes.
with. Enthusiastic, I like it. Well, we have a plan in set, but might make it a little bit more difficult with the lockdown happening.
Taking down the dome.
Taking down the dome.
You might be privy to it already, but I do have some information of my own as well.
He looks around, doesn't see anybody. Do we want to share that here, or do we want to go back to our little base? It's not much, but you're more than welcome to stay there.
I don't know this place, so wherever you think is best.
Sounds good. And he's still very gently holding on to Dahlia's hand and gives a reassuring squeeze as he starts heading towards the houses on layer 13. And Seraphina jumps off her box. Well, I'd prefer if you didn't leave me. This is a great perspective, but I'm coming too.
Talia will hold her hand out to Seraphina.
And she pauses for a moment. And just has like this little pout on her face, this little childish pout. And she just grabs both of Dahlia's hands with both of her own and just kind of like walks like very awkwardly, holding on to Dahlia's hand like a little like 14, 13-year-old kid would do.
There we go. Better?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And you are making your way towards wherever Beltov is leading you. And while that is happening, what are Friedrich, Velfi, and Ruin doing?
We're heading to the bar, I believe.
Yeah, I mean,
What time is
If
it?
we
Like
could-
early evening?
Early evening, so let's say like 7, 8.
Okay.
if we can find a place at the bar, I'm sure there's probably plenty of people that are drinking right now because they all got brought back from missions early.
That's true. We'll have to see. Hopefully we can get in.
And as you all make your way to the bar, it is pretty busy tonight as there are so many people back. The tables are full, the bar seats are full. Timval is having a time trying to keep up with everybody. And you do notice a little halfling behind the bar that's helping him out. He has actually had to hire someone in today because he can't keep up with all of it.
So is it like standing room only right now, basically?
Mm-hmm. Standing room only. There is a bard in one of the corners. The greasy corner is not happening right now. The barbarians do not have any place that they could do their tug of war today. And it is very loud in here.
It's been quite a day. Maybe I'll just have one and call it evening.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's good. Um,
On me.
Oh.
And I'll see if I can
Okay.
make my way to the bar to order.
You have to push your way, but you are able to make it to the bar to order.
Yes, what can I get you? It's very crowded today. Like lockdowns, they're good for business.
Try to remember what everyone likes, and I'll order 2 fuck ups and a screw up.
You got it. That is going to be 2 gold pieces.
I'll put 3 down.
Yay! This is wonderful.
And he starts making your drinks and hands them to you, and then immediately goes to someone else.
I'll go back to Velfie and Ruin and distribute. Ruin gets the fuck up. Velfie gets the screw up. Hopefully I remember that correctly, Velfie.
Yeah. No, I love the scrub. I came up with it. So
She kind of invented it.
That is true. Gotta drink your own drink.
yes, but thank you, Professor.
Never
Do,
mention it.
do you guys, this might be an odd question, do you guys remember seeing like a list of hours that the bookstore in the underground is open for?
I was very distracted down there. I got the sense that it didn't really close, but because you can't see the sky. But I don't know. I don't know where I'm coming up with that.
That is a good point.
Looking for some bedtime reading.
Yeah? No. It's, I need a scroll. So I, wanted to see if maybe Boot would have one, so. But I'm just gonna enjoy this drink right now. Because I just need a moment.
Yeah.
So, do you guys have any plans for the evening?
Well, I don't know. I do know that I was being eyeballed as soon as we walked in.
Eyeballed by who?
I don't know if we told like who all the all the masks that we knew of. Recall. I don't think we like. I don't think Dahlia and I relayed all of that information, but I don't remember.
Ruin told the party everything that happened that night.
Oh, yeah.
And who all was there. So they do know the masks, but
Okay.
Velfie also saw the mask with the 16 that she rolled. Saw a chameleon.
Okay. Yeah. So chameleon, who is pretty attached to our greasy compatriot, was like had eyes on me, so I don't know what that's going to turn into.
Oh. It doesn't seem good. I don't know much about Chameleon, but...
She crazy.
Oh.
That's all I know.
Well.
That's not good. Unpredictable is bad. In this scenario, at least.
I mean, unpredictable is unpredictable. Depending on where you aim, or depending on where you get it to aim, sometimes it can be useful.
Was she watching everyone?
It seemed like, and this is kind of me asking DM too, it seemed like she was pretty honed in on like me walking in, right? It didn't seem like she was looking at anybody else. Yeah, and she seemed pretty focused on me, but where Dahlia and I have mutual acquaintances, as it were, I don't know if that's part of that. I don't by chance see anybody like particularly looking at me in the bar, do I?
Roll a perception check.
Natural 20 for a 24.
No one is paying you any attention.
Okay. Cool. Well, at least we know that.
Well, that will be fun for you.
Yeah.
It's possible they may try to, if we get questioned or confronted, it's possible they may try to do it when we're not together. Should we stay in touch over the coming days? Maybe have like a, I don't know, I don't want to draw any attention, but somewhere to check in.
I mean, I don't have a means by which to message anybody. So
I don't either.
Yeah, mine is, you have to be kind of close.
Maybe we can have a drink every night.
yeah, hey, what else are we gonna do for the next few days before the? Because they're not. I doubt that they're going to be sending anybody out on any missions with the lockdown in place. So
True. And we can work on our tolerance before the ball.
before the ball. Do
And
we want drinks or do we want tea?
I prefer drinks.
All right, drinks it is.
And Friedrich looks worried when he says that, not like an alcoholic.
all right, and if you are drinking your drink, roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Three.
19.
Friedrich's not going to drink his.
Ruin is good. Belfi is feeling the effects of hers. And Friedrich isn't having his.
I'm just sort of holding it, swirling it around, looking at it. It's an object of focus, but I don't plan on drinking it.
I kind of want to go to the underground right now.
Honestly, maybe as safe as anywhere up here.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe you both want to come with me or not. I know, Ruin, you've got a target on your back.
Yeah.
I have some more of my studies I need to attend to this evening, hence why I'm abstaining, but I didn't want to
Ah,
pass up on the
Oh,
okay, yeah.
camaraderie.
They're strong tonight. I feel it in
Would you
me.
like another one? I don't want it to go to waste.
No, if I'm going somewhere, I should have my wits about me.
Ruin?
No, I'm good. I don't know what the night has currently in store for me, so probably better to not chance extra potential issues.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the fuck up and empty it into a small vial that I have.
Carry it with you. All right. You are able to do that easily as you have not had anything to drink. You don't have to make any kind of like saving throws or anything like that or checks. But as you all finish your drink, are you all splitting up or are you staying for another?
Friedrich's going back to his apartment.
All right. Friedrich's going back to his apartment. Belfi's going to the underground.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Ruin's gonna probably pay for his room in the bar and make his way up there and just kind of, if there's one, if he's behind one door, he can keep an eye on it a little bit better. So he's kind of feeling slightly paranoid, but.
All right, so you're able to head to your room for the night, and you kind of hear Timval.
Y'all are calling it early. You all okay?
It's been a day.
Oh, I hate to hear that. Oh, Professor, I haven't seen any pretty collars. Nothing normal. Everything's normal. I ain't seen nothing pretty. I mean, you all are pretty, but I don't think that's the kind of pretty color I'm looking for.
I appreciate you looking out. Constant vigilance.
I do try.
And you hear his apprentice. Pretty colors? We're looking for pretty colors now. And he looks confused. And you all are able to leave the bar or go up into your room. And Ruin, as you were in your room staring at that door, trying to figure out what is going on, it just feels like somebody's under your skin. And you just keep remembering that look. Roll me an intelligence check.
19.
You get the sense she knows something. As you stare at that door, feeling like there's somebody just under your skin watching you. Dahlia, what you doing?
Just wait until, like, Beltov deems it safe to speak of all of this stuff.
All right, so you are holding on to Seraphina, holding on to Beltov, and Beltov leads you to this tiny little home that is on layer 13. And it's very tiny, very out of the way. As he just looks back. One day I'll have a better one, but welcome home for now. As he welcomes you in, and it is very, very, very small. And there is 2 like setups in here. One is very bland, very bleak, very simplistic, nothing personal. You kind of get the sense that that's Belle's. And then on the other side, everything is blue. Anything that could possibly blue is blue. Little like lightning has been painted on the side, and just like little dragons flying everywhere. That like you get the sense that this might be Tilly's side. The little blue dragonborn that he has been traveling with. And it's just this tiny little, just one room studio with just their beds. It looks like it's been divided down the middle. One of them has one side, one of them has the other. And there's a little table in the center with some chairs, and there's some maps and some plans, and like just kind of scattered everywhere with like pieces on it to show who is where. Almost like a very rundown strategist board that they have been able to come up with. Oh, I can tell one of you's been at work. As Seraphina is looking at Tilly's side.
Not much of a decorator.
Don't have much. And if I'm not staying here, then what's the point in decorating it? Yep.
I've never decorated anyway.
Well, maybe one day we'll be able to.
Yeah.
But, and he pulls out a chair and like sits the cool boy style on it. And there are 2 other chairs as well for you both to be able to sit down. The ball is in 3 days.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I'm pretty sure we have a solid plan at this point, but the thing that we have not quite figured out what to do is how to get out. We have an idea. But we need to start putting that into place. And he starts pulling out scrolls and lays them out. These are teleportation scrolls. We have created teleportation circles throughout the woods. Tilly is going to have one. I will have one. I can carry 8. But I have a feeling some people are going to be left behind.
How many in total can get out?
With me, 8, and with Tilly, 8.
16.
But, and he pulls out this very elaborate drawing of the base, the inside of it. I found a little artist at the school, able to recreate anything from memory.
Wow.
Very talented artist. I believe his name was Sammy. But so if you look here, and he points to where the crystal underneath the floor is. Tilly is immune to any kind of lightning charges. And Tilly can sink into the floor, which I don't quite understand how that magic works. But she is going to be under there and set one of these. And he pulls out a giant explosive and puts it on the table. We brought this from camp, and she is going to set the charges during the ball. We're going to try to get it to set off while I think Cinder's child, surprisingly as a child, does the speech that he does every year for this ball. And hopefully we can blow it up while everybody is paying attention to him.
Who is Cinder's child?
I don't know his name, but young one, mid-20s.
Is he a mask?
I don't know much about him other than that.
Does Dahlia know anything about this?
Would Dahlia have gone to the balls in previous years?
Would Ignatius make her go?
He wouldn't make her go, no.
Maybe to 1 or 2, just for something different?
There's always a speech thanking the Reapers for everything that they do during the year. And it is this beautiful elf-looking person with long black hair that does this speech every year, but you only see him once a year.
Oh, it's not dragon. Hmm. Does your mom know of these plans? And is she leaving with us?
I haven't told her. I think she knows something's up, but I plan for her to be one of the 16.
Good. You know what the crystals are?
They are the energy from those who die.
Okay.
I'm a little nervous as to what it's going to sound like when we destroy that crystal. I don't know if the people inside will scream or if it'll just be silent.
They're always screaming.
You know what they sound like.
They're in pain.
That just gives us a little bit of more confirmation of what we're doing is a good thing.
Yeah, they need to be released.
But I plan on going to the ball if you wish to help us. That way we can have somebody.
Any way I can. Safely. That doesn't put anyone else in danger.
He pulls out 2 masquerade masks.
What do they look like?
They are black with gold details. Very similar.
Doesn't look like an elk.
Does not look like an elk, no. It's just like, it's quite literally just like a little mask. So not one of the masks that the masks wear. This is supposed to be like a fashion mask. And I do have some disguise self scrolls as well.
Yeah. It's not too many drow topside.
No, unfortunately, that would give us away pretty quickly, wouldn't it? I mean, you could always just do what I do and just go with somebody else every different day.
Can you teach me how to do that then?
No. As you see her do a change, you see that skin going one way, a very almost like the whitest cream color in the center, and then another color coming in, and as she changes to a old tiefling man. I might need to make myself sound a little more manly for this one.
I mean, all I can turn into is a monster, so that won't be publicly acceptable. That's all I can do.
I don't think it's very monstrous.
Well, I'm there to scare people. So,
Some people need scaring.
yeah, but still a monster.
Think it depends on how you view one. And as this is happening, Professor Friedrich, what you doing?
I am going to my apartment to attempt this third test, ritual, what have you.
All right. You're able to make it back to your apartment. Nobody gets in your way. Very quiet on your side of town.
Is it quiet on the hallway leading to my door?
It is.
Is there any sign my door has been tampered with?
Give me a perception check.
Nine.
Not that you can see.
I'll open it and then take a look at my apartment from the door and see if it looks like someone has been inside of it.
It looks like it was before you left.
I'll go in, shut the door, lock it, and start setting everything up.
All right. And as you are setting everything up and reading this, this ritual states to write what you desire to know the most on a piece of parchment. The caster should sit in front of this parchment and place candles in a triangle around it. Start at the point to your right and go clockwise, reciting the following. Aminanin nan golwin, toloinos iduldanin.
Okay. I do that.
And as you are able to do that, you can read a little bit of what these things are saying to you now, as you are slowly learning Celestial.
And what does it say?
So you just read and said in Celestial, I am here to learn about enlightenment. Take me to the innermost part of my soul.
Did I know that before I said it?
Yeah, you would have been able to read it, at least part of it.
Okay, fair.
And as you set up this ritual, you and I are going to go to Whispers. You are transported back to the vastly open area that you're used to now. It is dark, there's water on the ground, and it is completely silent. The only light you have in here are those tiny little balls of light that are floating or flying in different directions around you. Most are now still gray or azure. There is a rumbling from underneath you as a pillar starts to slowly rise from the ground. The sounds of rumbling and water falling off of it echo through this chamber. What question did you write on your sheet of paper?
I wrote, how do I eradicate the blight that the Order has created?
The pillar starts to glow with words and begin to form. You wish for enlightenment. You will sacrifice peace of mind. Are you ready?
Yes.
Images begin to flash in front of your eyes rapidly. These images flash in front of you so quickly it is hard to get a grasp on what you are seeing. I will message you in just a moment of everything you see, as only you will know. And as you witness this, these tiny balls of light without color start to shift to an olive green. They will begin to form an outline of a humanoid in the similar shape of you. The torso of the figure is colored in azure, with the head being still gray. And slowly, the lower part fills in with that olive green. As you have now come to the conclusion of the 3 colors of your soul.
Olive green, azure blue, and steel gray.
And steel gray. And with that, what is Velfie doing?
Velfie is, she's got her cloak on. It's covering her pin. And she is making her way towards the underground to go to the bookstore.
And it's, as you're going to the underground, it is more crowded up here than it normally is, especially at the Clever Slugs and Pleasures, as we are now in lockdown and everybody is going to do something for the evening. So it is definitely more crowded down here than usual. So it's very loud, and you were able to make your way to the bookstore without any occurrences. No one seems to be paying you any mind as they're doing their own thing. And some people do seem nervous, but you were able to make it to the bookstore. You pass Maka's potion shop and you open the door to the bookstore, and you notice it's not as dusty in here this time.
Oh. Wow. This place is looking a bit fresh.
And you see the little goblin look over his counter.
I've been cleaning.
I can see that. You're not sneezing anymore.
Well, I still sneeze every once in a while, but it isn't as bad.
That's good. I mean, progress is progress.
We like progress.
And he just is scurrying about the place. It looks like he's cleaning under his desk at the moment As he just, like, as soon as he says that, his head just drops back down. And you just hear, like, ruffling underneath his desk.
All right. Well, I am very happy that you are open. I have something I would like to purchase. If you have it.
Well, if I don't have it, I don't think anybody else will either. So what are we looking for?
I need a scroll of Speak with Dead.
A scroll? Ooh, well, I have plenty of those.
As he just goes around the corner and goes to his little scroll wall and starts shuffling through, and he pulls one out.
This is 200 gold pieces.
I mean, I am a repeat customer. What if, just hear me out here, what if I gave you 150?
Roll me persuasion.
And I still have sunflower seeds, right? Here's my persuasion. 17.
Beat his 14.
Well, when you put it like that, you do buy for me a lot. No, 155 to make me feel good.
You know what? Deal. I will give you 155.
It is yours.
Thank you. Hey.
As he hands over the scroll to you.
Who are you talking to?
The dead.
Well, I got that. But what if dead people don't want to talk?
It's fair. Some people just kind of want to be put to rest. And I understand that. But, you know, sometimes you just really miss somebody and you got to talk to them.
He just has a faraway look for a second. He comes back.
Well, that's sad.
Yeah, it's a little sad, but, you know, we all process in different ways. Some people need distance, some people need to be closer.
You are wise for your years, I think.
I just read a lot of smut.
Maybe Gibby was onto something.
As he just kind of like walks over and like goes and finds him a smut book to start reading.
And I checked out the codex and the smut book, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so did I read everything from the codex?
You could probably get a few more things, but you did read all you could about the fates.
Okay. I shall hold on to it. All right, well, I got what I came here for, and I'm pleased to see that you are progressing. It's nice.
I try.
Alrighty, well, Loot, you will see me when I need to return my books, because I don't want to be delinquent.
Don't be a delinquent.
I will not, I promise. And she will put the scroll of Speak with Dead in her bag, do a quick wave, and make her way out of the store and back to her dorm.
All right, you're able to make your way back to your dorm. Again, no occurrences, as everybody seems to be having like the time of their lives down here, super, super crowded. And you get to your dorm and everything seems as normal.
Okay. So she will go in and she's going to take out her sending stone. And she's going to ask, do you know why we are in a lockdown? Should I be worried?
You do not get a response.
Cool. she will, with a bit more force, put the stone on her table. And then she will pull out the cat that she's been working on and continue whittling that.
Roll a performance.
Okie dokie. Hey, getting low numbers. 15.
You're able to do some really good work on it. It's coming together. I'd say you're about 2/3 of the way done.
All right. I don't really think there'd be much else that she does that night. She'll probably just work on whittling until she goes to bed.
Alrighty. And while that is happening, Dahlia, Beltov has explained in detail as much as he can for the time being what this plan is going to be, what it entails. And it is now getting late. Seraphina has taken her leave as an old tiefling man. And she's got the like old man walk down perfectly too as she leaves. And she just gives a little wave. And it is now you two.
Does she need to be the one we get out? Does she need to be one of the 16?
Seraphina, I think, enjoys the drama that is included in the city. I don't think she'd be happy if she left.
Will the city still be standing without?
It's going to be rough, but I don't think they'll be able to take it down that easily once the shield goes down. I mean, we work without the shields. It just takes a lot of work.
Valid.
So it won't be nice for the people here for a while, but at least they'll have the option to leave if they so choose. We will most likely be painted the villains in their story, but...
Well, I'm already a traitor, so...
To them, but anybody who doesn't go by their rules is a traitor.
So already a villain.
Well, you make a fine villain.
But Ondir is hunting me.
Ondir is hunting us all. But
Excuse me.
I have the feeling that something else is going to be going on there. Because he has a connection to you all. They might be trying to label him one as well. Did Dahlia look upset about the whole villain thing?
Kind of, it was more of like that checks out, kind of like villain monster. That checks out.
He would very gently take one of Dahlia's hands if she allows it. You know, Just because you're a villain in somebody's story doesn't mean you're not a hero in someone else's. You can't be the good guy for everyone. And if you were, you would be a good guy to no one.
I haven't done a whole lot of good yet.
I don't see how you haven't done a whole lot of good.
Made a big old mess.
Sometimes messes need to happen. Sometimes there's beauty in putting things back together better than they were first.
Yeah.
And don't shoulder all the blame on you. Messes happen. People are responsible for their own actions. You can't force them to do anything. People make choices. But I know it's getting late. You're very welcome to stay here. Tilly will probably be in soon too.
Okay.
It's not the most comfortable, but, and he just kind of points to the bed that he has, which is very plain, has the very like little necessities, a pillow, a blanket, something soft to sleep on. And he drags his chair to the door and he just cool boy sits in front of it.
I don't sleep very long, so I don't need it all night.
Have it as long as you want it. Or as long as you need it. Sometimes, even though we don't sleep very long, sometimes it's nice to sleep for the first time knowing that you're free.
Yeah.
And then he kind of like leans back because his back is towards Dahlia right now, and he pulls his chair the other way, but he's still cool by sitting on it, and his head is just leaning like backwards as he's looking at Dahlia upside down. It's nice to be free.
Yeah.
And then he goes
That's
back
nice.
to cool boy sitting in front of the door.
Just start taking her gear off. She'll pull out the journal and just kind of put it at the table. You might know all this information, but very enlightening if there's any plot holes.
And he turns his head over his shoulder and looks at the book, and he realizes that that's the book that he saw Dahlia playing with at the tavern. And he'll just very slowly turn his gaze to Dahlia. You said that that was important. Are you sure?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if there's any information you need, it's in here. It's a lot in there. But I trust you with it.
He'll nod. He'll get up and walk over to the book, very gently touch the cover. And he holds it very delicately, as she said this was the most important thing to her. And he slowly takes it back to his chair. Cool boy sits and starts... It's like he can't sit in a chair normally at all. And just starts flipping through the book.
she'll settle in for the night. Does it look like anything is like new information for him, or is it just like, oh yeah, this has happened before. Oh yeah, I know what this is.
You can tell, like, he's reading it very slowly, like very strategically. But give me an insight check.
Ooh. 25.
25. He's stiff as a board reading most of it. Like, all of his muscles have tensed. And there are certain moments, because all you can see is like the back of his head, where his shoulders tense up even more. And you get the sense that that's probably about the kids. But he just very slowly spends the rest of the night reading through it.
And at the back is her artwork.
What is her artwork? What all has she drawn? So she's drawn the Castle Forever, or Castle Together.
The castle together, the water, Kelpie, and she was starting to draw each of the party members.
And he just will slowly just kind of run a finger along the side of the pages that haven't been drawn on, as he's like taking in every detail as he slowly reads that book. And that's what he spends the rest of the night doing.
And I'll go to sleep.
And Ruin, what you doing?
So you said before we went to break that I got the feeling that like her eye was on me, or that there was eyes on me type of thing.
It's kind of like the paranoid feeling. So not necessarily like actually somebody is like sitting there with their eyes on you like that,
Right.
but you mentioned you were paranoid. So it just feels like somebody is under your skin, somebody's watching you, like there's no safe place even in this room.
So I think he'll sit there and just kind of out loud say, we're going to have a conversation at some point.
No one responds.
And I'm not like seeking a response, but and probably like put something in front of the door, to like move, like a chair, like what some people will do, and set a chair under the doorknob type of thing to make it harder to open, and then attempt to sleep.
Alrighty. And you all are able to lay your heads down to go to sleep. Belfie, in the middle of the night, your sending stone starts to buzz.
She'll wake up.
Be careful. They think you're involved. Trying to get them off of you. Because there's no way you are, right?
It hasn't been. Dawn hasn't happened yet, right?
Dawn has not happened yet.
Her heart is going to race. As she starts to worry. And she may have a hard time going back to sleep.
Roll me a D100.
$32.
32. So even though with that nervous energy now, you are able to fall back asleep and get a long rest with everyone. As you all are able to hit that long rest button.
Yeah, long rest button. Let's go.
As tensions are rising. And there are now 3 days before the big event. You have 3 days in Sydonea. And on the third night, it's when the ball is supposed to happen.
So we have like 2 more nights than the ball. Cool.
How do you all wish to spend today?
So Friedrich will wake up a little bit later, around like 6 a.m. and do his little morning routine. He's feeling a bit better is not the right word. Maybe a bit more confident after his success the evening before. And he's supposed to meet Axe and Z at noon. He's going to go ahead and head to Enchanty around, try to get there around 10 a.m.
And it's very cluttered here today as so many people are now in the city and no one can leave. Usually in the morning, people are heading towards the stables and heading to leave and kind of gathering around to watch the Reapers leave, but that's not happening this morning. So there's a bit of a nervous energy going about, and you hear kind of whispers of, why aren't the Reapers leaving to take care of what's outside of the walls? Do we need to worry about what's inside the walls? Like, well, this is kind of nice to have everybody here, and maybe we're having a holiday type of kind of gossip that you're getting around the area as you make your way to Enchanty. And Enchanty is packed. She has a lot of visitors today.
I'll wait patiently in line. Try not to act like it's a big deal.
And you were able to make your way. People are behind you as well. And she turns around and it's almost like her whole face lights up as she sees you come to the counter. Oh, hi, you're back.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm very busy. Starting to wonder if I need to hire an apprentice. I heard Timville did. Maybe I should too.
Timville did. I saw them last night. Timville needed them. About as busy as you are here. Might not be a bad idea, but who knows how long this lockdown will last.
Lockdown is very good for business, apparently. Everybody wants tea and scones for nerves, I guess. But what can I get you today?
Well, your tea definitely does help. I'll just take a cup of black tea and a whatever scone you've baked up today.
And lots of honey.
Sure, why not? We're in lockdown. Where am I going to go?
Well, I know you have a sweet tooth. As she walks off and starts brewing this black tea and adds like a little saucer of honey on the side and brings you a scone. And the scone today has little swirls of what looks like a raspberry in there. And she hands it over with the scone on top of your wooden mug that she has created.
A million thank yous. This will hit the spot. How have you been since everything happened yesterday?
I'm doing good. I'm a little nervous. I haven't seen my boy anywhere. I don't really know what's going on.
I was going to ask if you had heard from him. Do you know if he made it back to the city?
I can assume he listens, like he does what he's told, so I can assume he's here.
Yeah, hopefully they did bring everyone back.
Oh, I'm sure he's fine. He's gone longer without talking to me, so I'm sure he's fine.
Does he normally come by and see you regularly, or?
Typically, but there's been, spans of a few weeks, things like that he doesn't stop by. Because, he's a grown boy. He doesn't always want to come home to see his mom.
I can understand that, yeah. I don't mind stopping by and seeing his mom, but I understand he's very busy.
And she just has this, cheeky little grin. Well, I like when you come to see his mom, too.
maybe seeing a lot of me over the next few days. Plus, we have the ball in a few nights.
Yes, I'm supposed to go dress shopping with Velfie soon.
That should be very fun. Very fun. I know you're very busy. I'll let you get to it. Is there anything I can do to help or anything? I know how to make my own tea. I won't say I'm fast, but can I help in any way?
If I need any help, I'll call you. How does that sound?
I'll be sitting literally right over here if you need anything.
Okay.
Hopefully there's actually a table in the direction that I pointed behind my back without looking.
There is one left.
I will quickly scurry to it.
And as you scurry to it, she starts taking the next person's order, and it is a little chatty in here. As you are able to sit there in the corner and drink your drink as you wait for your meeting with Axe and Z. And while that is happening, Belfie, what you doing this morning?
Belfie she's probably going to be up a bit earlier than usual because of the anxiety that she feels. So I think what she do is kind of pour that energy into trying to finish the cat.
Roll me a performance check.
I did not take sunflower seeds. So, oops. Oh no.
Guidance.
Ten.
10. So it doesn't go as well as it did last night as you're whittling, and all that anxious energy is kind of making your hands tremble a little bit. So you aren't able to finish it this morning. But you start hearing knocks down the doorway, or not down the doorway, down the hallway. You start hearing knocks on people's doors.
Okay. I think Belfie hearing those knocks, I think her mind will go back to that message. And she's going to think that they might be looking for her. And she'll probably start panicking a bit more, but...
Roll me a perception check.
Just this dice, because my other one's been mean. 10.
10. You hear muffled, like, good mornings. And, like, you hear checking in, but you don't get the whole thing.
Okay. So I guess she's gonna take out like her journal and like put it on her desk. She's gonna start writing in it in an effort to kind of take her mind off of things and just calm down before or if they get to her door.
All right. And you finally hear a knock on yours.
Take a deep breath. And she will walk over to the door and open it up.
And when you open it, you see the familiar mask attire, but you see Chameleon's face. Good morning! So we're just checking in on everybody, making sure everything is just tip-top shape and top of the morning. So do tell me how everything is going.
Things are great. I'm whittling. I'm working on a gift for someone. So that's kind of how I spent my morning.
Oh, I would love to see it. What are you whittling?
She'll run back to her desk and grab it. Show her this little almost done cat.
And you see Chameleon's hand just come up, and she just gives it a little boop. And the unhinged character that Antira said Chameleon is, you are starting to see it. Well, isn't that just the cutest little thing? Oh my gosh, you are so talented.
Yeah, it's a new skill, but one that I am very excited about.
What are Velfie's surface thoughts?
She'll probably be thinking, surface thoughts will probably be, I wish I did better last night.
And how was your evening? Did you have a great evening last night?
You know, it was tired after traveling all day, but yeah, it was good. I was working on my cat pretty much the entire night. I went to the bar, had a drink, but then I came home and worked on my cat. I was a little drunk, but I did my best.
And you see, like, her head tilt just a bit. I've heard Temple makes a really great drink. I'll have to try one of those sometime.
Yeah, I recommend the Screw Up. It's a great drink made by yours truly.
Oh, well, then I'll definitely have to check it out. But thank you so much for your time, Velfie, and I will see you later.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
And she skips down to the next door and starts knocking on it.
Velfie is going to think, oh, I didn't give her my name. What does she mean she's going to see me later? And then her heart's going to start racing again.
And you just hear the same kind of conversation from your neighbor next door as she knocks on their door and they answer, and they look shocked too, because a mask is not something you see on a normal basis. And they are kind of you hear the nervous answers as well from your neighbor next door. And then as soon as she leaves, they slam the door shut and you hear scurrying back into their room.
At least I'm not alone. And I think she might contemplate working a bit more on that cat, but I think she's a little too worked up to kind of really do anything right now. She will pick up her sending stone after a moment, and she'll say, I don't know where she is. That's it.
And you don't get a response. And with that,
no, I'm just breathing.
and with that, Dahlia, what are you doing this morning?
She would have offered the bed like 4 hours later to Belle if he had wanted it.
He would have, after the 4 hours, handed you your book once you offered that. Your drawings are beautiful. You're very talented.
Thank you.
Keep working on that. Maybe I'll see a portrait of me in there someday. And he slowly makes his way to the bed, and it's just like that tired, like, hits, and he's out like within minutes.
Yeah. And she'll sit where he was and just go on like protection mode.
And you hear a strange knock. Like,
Hi, it's me. It's me. I'm doing the knock.
and she just opens the door, and then you see Tilly and her mouth, like very long dragon snout. Oh, he has company! And she slams the door shut.
Then I just open the door again. It's like, not that kind of. No. Hi.
Hi.
Not that kind of company.
Oh. Well, he talks about you very frequently, so I just thought.
And she just kind of like weasels her way in.
Okay, no, I am the traitor to the city, so I'm hiding.
Oh, well, welcome to the club. So am I.
Oh. What'd you do?
I'm gonna blow it up.
Lightning resistant, right?
Yeah.
And she like does this like little like sign of like lightning the best she can, even though nothing like comes out of it. And you do see like a little bit of sparkles coming from her mouth though.
I like it.
But did you sleep already? Do you want to go to bed? Like, he did offer you to go to sleep. He did offer you before he passed out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, I already slept. I don't sleep much.
Well, I sleep a lot.
And she just makes her way to the bed, and that kind of like tired energy that Belle also had, she has too, and she just poof.
Good night. Okay. All right.
Snout into the pillow, like holding on to this little blue blanket that she's managed to like wrap around her arms. And she's got like Snoot just resting.
This. Yeah.
And as you're watching the door, no one else comes in, no fancy knocks. And slowly, Belle starts to stir. Tilly is snoring pretty loudly. She always did snore.
Seems nice.
Oh, she's great. Coffee? It's not very good, but... And he very slowly and sluggishly starts to make a campfire coffee that isn't very good, but it's all they have.
It'll help.
Well, thank you. And his eyes are still halfway closed.
She'll just like smack his hand. It's like, I got it.
Mama told me that you don't... You make coffee for friends and guests and cute ladies,
you're still asleep. Blue, but you're still asleep. But okay.
And he slowly is making the coffee as Dolly is watching, and he misses the cup on one bit.
I just move it
and like starts cleaning it up. She's moving his glass or his pouring hand. I think I did it.
Yep, you did it all by yourself.
I
Good
did
job.
it all by myself. And like just ruffles his hair and hands her a cup of poorly poured coffee the best way he could. It's kind of like sticking on the side of the glass a little bit. Good morning. And he takes a chair and Cool Boy sits in it and just has his nose.
She'll just sit normally in the chair and then bun it. And she'll cast Death Ward on herself.
And you two are able to enjoy a half asleep, half awake, for him at least, morning cup of coffee as he is trying his best to wake up. And with that, Ruin, what you doing?
I think similar to Velthy, Ruin wakes up pretty early. Probably is like sitting on that barely got enough sleep to count as a long rest. And it's like that sits up from a nightmare and is like not having a nightmare, but that like shoots up in bed and like basically stares at the door. I'm assuming there's a window in the. Is there like a small window or something like that?
Yeah,
And,
there's
like,
a small
goes to the
window.
window. Like goes to the window, kind of looks out the window of his room and just kind of pulls the for the like second time I think ever, pulls out the sending stone to Kara and says, "Be careful, be safe. Don't do anything I would do. Follow Golmek." And that's it.
You don't get a response.
Didn't expect one.
And is there anywhere you're going today? Anything you're doing?
I think right away, probably not. I think it would be like beginning of the day. I'd just pretty much like stay in the room most of until like noon-ish, just kind of constantly like looking at that chair against the door, like that paranoia is just kind of like, and have the feeling of wanting to go talk to Selin, but knowing that if he's being followed, he doesn't want to drag her into any further things. So I think I'm giving like the first day, and I'd eventually go down and have some food and probably go out and just kind of wander the city, making it look like I'm just, or making it look like just an average day of somebody who's now in lockdown in the city, and just.
And everybody, there's a lot of nervous energy, the same energy you saw when Friedrich, or heard about when Friedrich was going to Enchanty. People just kind of whispering, very crowded streets. If you walk by the church, you notice the church doors are closed.
And that's abnormal.
That is abnormal.
Okay. I don't think I'm making an effort to go talk to Ignatius, so I just note that, okay, that's weird, and just kind of continue around the city.
All right. And as you continue your way throughout the city, Professor Friedrich, it is now noon, and Axe and Z walk in. Big armored suit clanking about. Little kid, super short, 3 feet tall. Normally halflings are 3.5. He's 3.
Before they walk in, did I see anyone in the morning throughout the tea shop that I recognized?
You did not.
Okay. Morning, boys. And I'll sort of wave my hand.
There he is! I told you he'd be here!
He told us to be here.
Yeah, I said I would be here, but yes, I am an orc of my word.
And they slowly make their way to the table. Z's like, excuse me, sorry, excuse me. Axe does not say anything. He just goes directly over there as Z is furiously and ferociously apologizing to everybody that he almost bumps into.
Can I get you a cup of tea or anything?
As long as it doesn't have milk in it. Blech.
And I just sort of look at Z and say, is there anything that you would enjoy or make you more comfortable?
And he moves his hands in front of his like body like this. No, that's okay. I had some this morning. I'm good. Thank you though. And you hear a little meow from his stomach.
Would you like some milk?
Yes, please.
I'll be right back. I go to the line. I don't know if there's still a line or not.
The line has dwindled down.
So I'll go back to Calandra and say hello again and say, can I get another cup of your delicious tea? 2 actually, please. And a saucer of milk.
A saucer of milk. Okay, I can do that. And she looks over at the boys. Oh, you brought the boys with you.
Yeah, some sort of office hours off campus, so to speak.
Oh, such sweet things. And she goes and makes the tea and gets everything ready and then gets you a saucer of milk. The little one doesn't like milk, but the little one also doesn't like being called short, so don't say I called him the little one either.
Is that his nickname, the little one?
When people are making fun of him, yes, because he is quite short for a halfling, but don't tell him that.
You hear so much in a tea shop. I won't. Your secret is safe with me. The milk is not for him either.
Okay.
So I'll take it all back to the table, distribute it, discreetly slide the saucer of milk over to Z and let him choose how he wants to do that.
Z looks around and notices that no one's really paying him attention. And he opens his stomach and just sets a saucer in there and closes it.
So, and I get kind of a hushed voice here now. I found some reading material. I've read it. And I just went through a series of what I can only describe as tests, like a gauntlet almost, of soul discovery. And I completed it. I don't entirely know what that means yet or what it will lead to, but I do feel like I know myself better and I feel more in tune with, I guess, my soul, for lack of a better way to describe it. And I think before we'll be able to do anything else, I think it may be necessary for both of you to consider doing the same.
Okay, yeah, just what all do we need to do?
Well, before I tell you, it is not without risk. I may look fine right now, but I lost vision in my right eye for several days as a result of some complications I ran into with the tests. So I'm not going to tell you you have to do this, but it's the most solid lead I've found so far. I do think you're both very capable of doing it. But I want you to know everything going into it so you can make your own decision.
Axe and Z are going to look at each other and then they look back at you. We don't have much to lose as it is. So if this gives us any way of getting him back, we'll take it.
No. I expected as much. I just didn't want you to feel like I had hidden anything from you. And at that point, I don't have the book with me, but I'll sort of explain to them the types of materials and things they can gather and what I can help gather for them. I may already have it in my apartment. I'm not sure. Sounds like it's just paper and candles and things.
And they take very good notes. And very, like, not only are they good, they're elegant and very structured for kids their age.
That's why they do so well in class. And what I can do is, well, one, I'm assuming they have like a dorm or a place they stay or something. I'll ask them, where are you boys living these days?
We have a very tiny apartment on the outside of the underground, that spiral staircase that goes down there. We have a little place over there. It's not much, but it's something.
Okay. You'll just need some space to yourself to do it. When I completed it, time passed. It happens very quickly when you're in there, so to speak, but time will pass most of the day. What I can do, give you time to think about it or decide when you want to attempt this.
We want to now.
Well, I can help you. I can grab materials and meet you there and sort of be on watch while you initiate everything.
Okay. So, and they both stand up like immediately, and you hear like the little clunking of the saucer from Z as as he gets up really, really quickly.
Oh, that wasn't the best idea.
If you're done with that, I can take it back up front.
Well, now I've made myself noticed, so I'll give it back later. I promise. I'm not trying to steal it.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Okay, so we live over there,
And while Z is just being like a very, boy, Axe is slowly drawing out like a little map for you in order for you to find them.
Okay, I will meet you there in an hour's time. How does that sound?
That sounds great. We'll be there. And immediately, like, Axe shoves down the scone and chugs his tea, and with a mouthful is waving to Calandra, and she's just like, "Bye, boys. I'll see you later." And they both leave, and they are heading back home.
What do I owe for all the tea and everything?
Let's say 5 gold pieces.
So I'll walk up to the counter and put down 7 pieces and say, "Thanks again. It's always lovely to see you and to enjoy a cup of tea here. I'm sure I'll be talking to you sometime tomorrow.
I look forward to it.
Good luck with business.
Lockdown is good for business, apparently."
I'll tea you later."
And she gives like this very lighthearted chuckle that
Have
just
to
sounds
leave
like
now.
bells as you head out. And with that, Velfie, what are we doing as we have had a stressful morning?
So Velfie, she's been sitting on her bed, kind of just nervously, kind of biting her nails. And she will remember that she got that Dreamweaver tea from Calandra. And after a moment, she will get up and make a cup. And then, taking a deep breath, she will whisper, "Please help." And then she'll drink it.
Alrighty. And once you drink this tea, does she drink it sitting down or does she drink it standing up?
I'd say she's probably standing up.
Roll me a D100 to see which way you fall.
41.
With a 41, as soon as you drink it, it hits immediately. The cup she's taking drops. And Velfie manages to just kind of almost like slow motion fall towards her bed as she conks out very quickly. And it's almost like all of this is happening very, 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 very fast, very quickly, very fast, as all of these images start to come to you. And since she seems to be focusing a lot on Antir with everything that's currently going on, a lot of it has to do with him. Would Velfi want the good or the bad first?
I think she'd want the good first.
The good first. So with the good, you would see Antir's holding a dagger and looks conflicted. But it's almost like you say something and he puts it down. And he nods. And then it flashes to a ballroom. And you see a line of masks in front of you. But the fox mask stands in front of her. And
Is he facing her, or is it back to her?
Backs to her. And he is facing all of the masks. And he is doing a sign of go. As it's almost like masks are one side, traitors on the other. Then it flips. Antir is holding that dagger. But instead of the understanding nod from whatever Velfi says, he white knuckles it. And the rage that he is named for shows on his face. Disappointment shows on his face. Heartbreak shows on his face. And he starts to say something and then it disappears. And then there's that ballroom again. But instead of being in front of Velfi and protecting Velfi, he is on the other side with a man with very long black hair whispering something into his ear. And you get the sense that from these dream sequences, everything involving Antir can go one of two ways. And it's going to depend on how Velfi handles the situation with him to decide which side he chooses. As he is going to be put into a situation of, does he choose what he has always known, what he has always done, what he has always protected, what he thinks is right? Or does he fold into whatever this is and something new for the person he loves? But there's two sides to this coin. And it depends on how Velfi handles the situation and which side it lands on.
So, I guess after all of that, she'll wake up kind of groggy.
Yeah, she would be pretty groggy, and it feels like not that much time has passed, maybe an hour or so. So it might be around noon, 1 o'clock. Very groggy, very foggy. As Calandra's tea works wonders and very quickly.
She will kind of straighten up. And this resolve will show on her face as she looks at that whittled cat. And she's going to go back to whittling again.
Roll performance.
Okay. Do this one. 6.
You're almost done, but it's just, there's a little bit that you just can't seem to figure out with all the fogginess and the, anxiety but you have resolve, but you're still a little groggy, foggy as you are almost done. One more whittle session, you'll probably have it, as it is now about 3:00 in the afternoon.
Okay.
It's almost done, but not quite.
All right.
And with that, Dahlia, what are you and Belle doing? Tilly is still snoring.
Is he more awake?
He slowly starts to come to as the Belle you have now seen morning, groggy. I'm not a morning person, Belle.
You know who the third child is?
I don't know too much about them now. They're young, younger than me.
Are they a danger, or are they someone we need to get out?
Always assume they're a danger. And he has this far off look as he says that. Some people say third time's the charm, so maybe this one's perfect.
I really like 002.
He doesn't turn your way, but you see a little bit of the blue creeping up. Who's that?
I don't know, this drow boy I remember from a long time ago. Rebellious. Put up a stink.
Sounds like a good kid.
Very good kid.
He just kind of nods with a little smile on his face. Well, I have to scout around, see if our company is in town yet.
Your company?
3 blind mice.
Okay.
But do you wish to stay here?
I don't know where else to go. That I wouldn't cause a problem.
If you need to go anywhere, and he pulls out a scroll and hands it to you. Just choose a plain design.
Okay.
Because your beauty might entrap everybody else. And he steps out.
Before he goes, only lasts a minute, but sanctuary.
And he gets this like little chill down his spine as he leaves. Like a little nice, like, And as he heads out the door to what you can assume is continue his planning for blowing up the sphere.
So with scrolls, do you have to read them to cast them?
With scrolls, I think as long as you, like he told you it was a disguised self, as long as you know how to cast it.
Okay.
And I'd say with the training Dahlia has had, she knows how to cast disguised self.
Okay. Awesome. She'll put it in her bag of holding. Yeah, she'll kind of like, she'll just kind of peek outside the door and just kind of like see what the life is like on tier 13. Like who's around.
Very poor. You don't see too many people out and about. But it's dark. It's kind of very rugged. Because this is one of the bottom tiers.
Are there any tiers below?
Couple. Not very many.
Okay.
But they are very similar to this one. And you can see that pit.
I'll go over to it carefully and just kind of. No, we'll probably have to go down there eventually. But, yeah. Gotta cast Speak with Dead to see if anything comes up out of it.
Roll me a D100.
Uh, 70.
There's this big whoosh. And you get multiple voices talking at once. They're talking. They don't make sense, though. It's like jumbled words, almost like a broken mind in different voices. They can't make a cohesive sentence. Everything they say doesn't make sense.
Try going, hello.
They all go quiet. And then almost like a broken mind and forgot, that whoosh of voices comes back.
Where is the diamond located according to, like, this underground? The crystal, the giant crystal, sorry, not the diamond.
Oh, I was like, diamond. I was like, what am I forgetting? The crystal is like, it's like the basement of the base.
Is the base anywhere near this hole?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, so the underground is on the west side of town. The base is on the east side.
Okay.
And you are like 13 floors below like ground level.
Okay. And when I look up, is there anything like, is there any crystal or anything that goes up?
There is no crystal. You can see the hole that is in like one side that just brings in a little bit of sunlight because that's the only sunlight they get down here. But there's no crystal down here. There's just this big giant pit. But you can see the other
man-made?
Man-made, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this whole underground area looks like it's dwarven made. It was supposed to be a place of refuge in case anything happens to Sydonea. This was the fallback plan.
Okay. Huh. That's all I have.
Those voices just keep making incoherent sentences. Feminine, masculine, old, young. Doesn't quite make sense.
I say the name Cinder.
They all go quiet. And then, like a broken mind,
Say the name Ignatius.
they don't seem to react to that one.
Okay. Huh.
And as they continue making these incoherent sentences, Ruin, what you doing?
I think after a while of just kind of wandering around, Ruin would. I think he would probably go start at the bar and just kind of be looking for Selin, because I know that I have to have I know that that's a conversation that has to, or like I'm trying to figure things out. And
You make it to the bar and you walk in and you do see Selin sitting at the bar with a glass of wine. And it's pretty busy in here already, as people are now on lockdown. They don't have things to do. Lots of Reapers are in here.
I think I would walk up, and I don't know if I would like outright. I think I'd walk up and, since it's loud, I'd like pat her on the shoulder or something to get her attention, rather than just being like, "Hey!"
And that's exactly what she's going to do. Hey! Apparently we're on lockdown. This is something that we do now. This is something I like to do anyway, but yeah, we can't leave. So, I don't know what else to do. I went like looking for you, couldn't find you. So I was just like, all right, well, I'm going to come to the bar.
Yeah, we got in late last night, or pretty late last night somehow we ended up on a delivery to the Druid Grove of all things. Like,
Oh, that sounds nice.
yeah. Yeah, it was interesting. Wine sounds great.
She's just going to fur her eyebrows at that. Like, well, that's cryptic.
I'm totally a super, super cryptic person.
I can tell. Mysterious and broody, just the way I like them. And she just kind of waves to Timble and points to her glass. And Timble comes over and pops a bottle and pours a little for you, gives it to you.
Selin brought this in. I don't normally sell this, but maybe I should. Maybe I should go have my new apprentice go order some.
It's not a bad idea.
And he just ponders that as he slides your wine glass to you.
And before I say anything, I'll take like a quick drink of it, but not drinking it to get shit-faced.
You get the Selin is there.
So, how did did you finish your mission, or were you one of the ones that got called back early?
I got called back early. I didn't get to swing the new axe or anything.
What? Why would they do that?
I don't know, and I don't like it. They could just send me back out. I can take on the threats. I'm good at that. I can do it.
I mean, they seem to think that there are more threats out there, so having all of us here, I don't, none of it makes sense.
Makes me think they're worried of something, but I don't know exactly what they're worried about. I mean, we've apparently been doing this 152 years. What's different now?
Right? Well, you know how we were talking about I had memories that I was trying to get back?
Mm-hmm. And I mentioned don't live in the past because that's not who you are anymore, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you were right.
I am so right. I am always right. Remember that.
I couldn't agree with you more. But I did find out a lot. And as much as I don't want to live in the past, it is something that I'd want to understand more. But it's not I doubt that that's a mission that they would send us out on. So I don't know if it would be...
She just looks at you puzzled, like, what are you implying?
I don't know if I'm like in my head I'm like going over would I ask her to leave? Like, and if I'm gonna just out with it, and if I wanted to go find who I was, would you go with me?
She just looks around. I'm tired of this shit joint anyway.
And I think Ruin would lean in and like right in front of everybody, not even like a care in the world, kiss her.
She grins into it and kisses back, and everybody just kind of like pauses and all the sounds stop. And then they just kind of, because this isn't something they see every day, and they just start hooping and hollering in the corner. And then they clap, and then one bard is like, ah! And he's like over there in the corner, like the guy talking about bodies, and then he goes back to his little song.
We're bringing out bringing up his selection of things. Velfie invented the screw up. You're bringing in wine.
I just wanted something that I would like to drink a little bit more. Fuck ups are nice. They're good. Yeah. But they're boring after a while.
Have you tried a screw up?
I have not. I'll have to try one since Velfie made it.
Would you survive one right now?
Are you implying that I can't? And she taps on the bar and orders 2 screw ups, and as soon as it comes out, immediately shoots it. I'm fine, see? I can handle my beer, my liquor, whatever it is, my wine. Can you?
I'll shoot it back myself.
Constitution saving throw.
That's where am I? Constitution 17.
Okay, you can handle yours too then.
I think Ruin is just kind of like in his head, but like a good kind of in his head. He's like, okay, like I'm not, regardless of what happens next, I'm not going to be alone. Like, and that's because I don't know any pieces of the plan or anything like that, but that's just the thought that's going through his head.
And you are able to sit there and have that conversation with Selin. Is there anything else you'd like to specifically talk about?
No, I think he pats the, because I've got a diamond in my pocket, because I got a diamond from the Fey realm, and it's like, there's a thought about it, but he's going to hold on to it. Because I know how, like, big rocks are, and...
Big rocks are big things to dwarven women.
And that's a big rock, and that's a big rock.
And you two are able to have that discussion as it is now getting later into the afternoon. And with that, Friedrich, what you doing?
So I'm gathering necessary things and going to Axon's apartment.
All right. And as you gather these things, Axe and Z, you're able to find their apartment pretty easy. They've left a little note on your door, or on their door. It's open. Just open it. With a little chicken drawn on it.
A chicken, okay. I go on in.
And when you go in, you kind of like see them like frantically trying to like clean up the boy pad pretty much. As Professor Friedrich is coming over, and like they have like Z's got a bunch of like dirty clothes kind of in his arms, and he's just like, "It's open."
It's just me. I mean, really, you just need sort of a clear area on the floor. You did light candles, so nothing flammable around them, like clothing or anything.
Well, I'm gonna put these over here, and he just like rushes off. And Axe has like a bunch of books, and every wall of their apartment is a bookshelf. As these kids have devoted everything they have to studying whatever this, trying to find a way to get Z back into a normal body. They have books upon books upon books upon books upon books as they are trying to get the books out of the way. And you just see too, like, the beds are very small and meager, and they have books all over them.
You both do a lot of reading.
What can I say? I like to read.
Have you ever read anything in any of these books about what I described earlier? This ritual we're about to do.
No. Because if we had, we would have tried it already.
I just didn't know if it was alluded to or anything. Okay, well, and I will set into explaining it to them. Essentially, to clear space, light, I think it's 3 candles, 3 sheets of paper, and a triangle pattern. And whoever wants to go first will sit in the middle.
Should we both go at the same time instead?
I've only done this with myself, so you can. I don't even know if it would connect you in some way in there. I have the book with me. I grabbed it. Do I, just flipping through it again, do I see anything that mentions you have to do it by yourself? Is there any risk of doing it with someone else?
It talks about how you have to do it by yourself, but this was for students at the School of Necromancy to do before they took their classes. So you can assume that they could do it like at the same time. They just had to take the trials on their own.
Does it look like we should set up 2 different triangles?
It looks like you should set up 2 different triangles.
So let's double it up then. And then you can both go at the same time, and I'll just sort of hang out here and just make sure nothing too crazy happens.
Okay. And Axe will reach out to the book that you're reading from. Can I read it?
I mean, by all means, yeah.
He picks it up, and his eyes just go wide.
Can you read Celestial?
That's what that is?
I think so.
Oh, I know a lot of languages, but I do not know that one.
You may soon find that you will learn it.
Oh, okay. As they set up and they do what they are told, you see them both sit in front of this thing that they have created for the reflection ritual.
And I cast Mage Armor and False Life on myself.
And they they go through the steps, and you see both of their bodies just fall. Like they just fall over.
Can I go check them for signs of life?
Well, one you can tell is breathing,
Right, Axe, I'm assuming.
but the other one you have no idea.
But Axe appears to be like sleeping, passed out. What is it?
It's like they passed out, fell asleep, and this is what Friedrich did when he did this trial in front of the party.
Can I go and just sort of knock on Z's breastplate?
You hear a meow.
Okay, the cat's okay. Good. I didn't know if the cat was searching for its soul as well.
No, the cat is still in there. And it actually will crawl out of the top of Z's helmet and just slowly make its way to you and does like a little circle around your legs.
I'll reach down and pet it. Why not?
He just leans into it as you watch these kids for quite a while. And it is slowly becoming darker in the evening. So late afternoon.
Yeah, I'll just sit tight and make sure that they wake up.
And with that, Felfie, is there anything else you'd like to do with your day?
Do they wake up?
You'll find out later.
So Velfie, with that resolve, she's pouring her energy into this cat.
Roll me another
So
performance.
She's gonna try to finish it. 16.
You were able to finish it. You get the last finishing touches with this cat, and it looks great.
Yeah. Okay. So she's gonna admire her artwork, and her hands shaking a little bit as she looks at it. And then she's gonna put it in her bag. And what time did you say it was?
So with the extra whittling, it'll probably be closer to 5. 6.
Okay. So she's gonna put it in her bag along with the book, Terravota, and the Scroll of Speak with Dead. And she's going to make her way over to Antier's apartment.
All right. And you're able to make your way to Antier's apartment. And nothing seems out of the ordinary. You don't hear anything from the apartment that Chameleon lives in that he pointed was his neighbor. Seems she is still out and about. Either that or she's asleep. Or she's hunting someone. Who knows?
She's going to take out the key and take a deep breath. And then she's going to open the door.
When you open the door, he has made sure that his clothes are in the basket.
She'll chuckle.
His little foxes are still like around the apartment. And he is snoring on the couch. Like very cuddled up. And you see that there is a book on the table.
She's going to walk over and see what book it is.
It's Lies and Fire, the first smut book you got from the bookshop. As you told him, this is the kind of things you like. He went and got a smut book.
She's gonna smile sadly at it. And she's shaking. she's gonna sit on the couch and just like kind of gently caress his face to kind of wake him up very softly.
He leans into it. And that scent of lilies is just really strong, if that is still Velfie's favorite scent.
Yeah.
As he stirs, and it kind of like comes in and out, in and out, in and out, that smell as he's waking up. And as on Tyr, he's used to immediately masking it. He opens his eyes and he just gives you like a big, like lopsided grin, like a boyish grin. Hi, I don't remember you being here last night, but I'm really excited. I'm probably dreaming again, but that's okay.
She's gonna laugh. And she'll say no. And she'll take his hand and squeeze it. Say, you're not dreaming.
And he like shoots up. Hi, good morning. Or afternoon. Or
Evening.
Evening. Hi.
Hi. Do you often sleep during the day?
Yeah, most of my stuff's in the evening, so.
Okay. Fair. I made you something.
Made me something.
Yeah.
Get to see you in the morning and I get a present?
I know. But yeah, no, I picked up a new skill while I was at the Druid Grove. And she'll reach into her bag and pull out the whittled cat. It's special. Enchanted, I think.
And he'll very gently take it and looks it over. You did a really good job. You were so talented. How did you pick up whittling this quickly?
I read a book about it.
I need to read more.
She'll put her head in the direction of the book. She's like, well, you're off to a good start.
It is actually really good.
It is.
As he takes this cat and just... He's looking at it adoringly, almost like the only person who's ever given him a present is his mom. And he takes it over to one of his little fox figurines that he has and places it next to it. It's like one of the ones that's predominantly displayed. I think it fits right in.
Yes, I was hoping it would, especially since, and she'll pull out the whittled fox. I was originally going to give you this, but I found out that I could talk to you from it. So I don't want to part with it.
He picks it up, like the cat back up, and like he holds his mouth to it. Can you hear me? And through yours, you get a response of, can you hear me?
I was hoping that would happen. It works.
And he just looks at it in awe.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can use it if you want, or if not, you can leave it on the shelf, and whenever you see it, you can think of me and smile.
If it connects me to you, I'm carrying it everywhere.
I mean, that's totally cool as well, I don't want to pressure you, but...
Oh, I feel so pressured.
Good. I'm glad you like it.
I love it. And he comes over and he just gives Belfi a kiss on the forehead. As he is trying to, then he kind of walks away and starts trying to figure out a way to attach the whittled cat to like his belt in some way. And he's kind of struggling a bit. And then he just places it down, and I'll figure that out later. 'Cause I can't figure out how to attach it to my belt yet, but I will find a way.
Oh, maybe a little bag?
That's smart. And he just kind of disappears for a second and goes and finds a bag. And like it's big enough to attach to his belt, but still have the little cat's head sticking out.
That is so cute.
And he just gives you a boyish grin.
She'll walk over and take his hand. Say, my visit here isn't entirely just for the cat.
Oh boy. And he just kind of like looks really nervous. This isn't like the books where you break up with someone, is it?
Oh, no.
Okay.
It would, no. There's no breaking up.
All right. Should I? And he looks very nervous now. Should I sit down?
Yeah, I think that's probably smart.
Okay. And he goes and takes a seat. And he's got this posture of extremely nervous, straight back. Looks like he's almost scared to breathe.
So she'll sit down and she'll take his hand in hers. And she's gonna say, Antir, I love you, and I believe in you, and I trust you, and I'm trusting you to try to understand.
And as you're saying that, it looks like almost like knots are beginning to form in his stomach as this look of dread starts to come across his face a little bit.
What do you know of the High Table of Cinder? What they do?
I know a little of the High Table. I'm not in the mass the way some of the others are, so I don't know much of the High Table.
Okay. Well, to enlighten you, Cinder made a deal with something dark, something terrible. And they're running experiments on children, taking the DNA from monsters and trying to create more. Do you have one of your crystals?
He looks very confused. I have a crystal, yes. But experiments?
Yes.
So what proof?
I had a reliable source. But please, I need you to get your crystal.
Okay. And he's looking, he has just absolute confusion on his face as he goes to the other room and grabs one of his crystals and brings it back.
She's going to reach into her bag and pull out a scroll of Speak with Dead. And she's going to give it to him. Say, use this on your crystal. Just trust me.
He pauses and he holds the Speak with Dead and the crystal in one or the other hand. What is the point of this?
You will find out. You need to hear it.
He looks at the crystal, looks back at the scroll, looks back at Velfie, and that is where we're going to pick up our next session.
No.
I knew it.
Just use the scroll, dude.
I was sitting there going, yeah, that's where she's gonna do it.
Oh my gosh. I was like, why are you getting us to go speak with Daddy? You got 2 people. And then as soon as like you go to his apartment, I was like,
I was like, that was a play.
well done.
Pretty clever.
That was
Oh, we needed proof. You're getting that proof.
So nervous the whole time.
Thank you so much for watching Session 23 of the Order of Narvosc. Session 24 will be out on July 17th. Make sure to check out our players' social media accounts as well. They are linked in the description below. They are wonderful and they deserve your support. And lastly, if this is the kind of content you enjoy, please press that like button, subscribe, ring that bell. That way you get notified when Session 24 comes out. As always, be the light that drives out the shadow, adventurer. I'll see you soon.